How's it going, everybody? It's Saturday here at the house. Trying to get things ready before we leave out tomorrow for power tour. We're leaving out a day early, and already got a hotel room set up not far away from the venue, about 45 minutes out. And but right now, basically, still knocking out little things. I've got little things that are popping up on this thing that I've got to address and fix. It's always the last minute stuff. Put a few more miles on this thing. So far so good, but we came with a couple of leaks that we've got to get fixed. One of them is the pinion seal on the rear end, and let's get up underneath there. Maybe we can see it. So you can see up in there, I got a little bit of splatter going on. So I need to address that. I don't need this spraying, going down the road, getting on the back of the car. So I got to address that this morning. But it's little things like this that bite you on the ass on the last minute of trying to get stuff done. And you know, it is what it is. I've just got to deal with it, get it done. I've had a couple of late nights working on this thing. And but other than that, we got our 12-volt supply wired in so I can run my GPS, which I'm also using that as my speedometer, of course. And then the other day I had an issue of a switch going out. So I had to replace that. That's for my ignition. And the other issue we had too was I noticed yesterday when I was looking over the car, I noticed some antifreeze leaking out one of the freeze plugs. Had to be the one underneath the motor mount. And that was a pain in the butt to replace without having to tear all this stuff apart. So I called my local parts store. They had 2 left in stock, so I got both of them. And that way there, in case something happens with another one, I've got an extra. And so anyway, I fixed that last night, redid the coolant in it. Coolant needed to be changed anyway. And so got that taken care of. And then was having a little bit of an issue with the alternator. I mean, the alternator was working, but with the fan and everything on the radiator, it was pulling the amperage. And with the hot rod tour, there's going to be a lot of slow moving traffic, a lot of stop and go. And I've got to be able to run this fan and not worry about it. So I took the other alternator that was on here to a guy about 30 miles from me that rebuilds these things and had him test it out. Well, he was testing it out. It tested out good. He got it all the way up to 80 amps. But the thing of it is, he had the RPMs way up. Well, what I noticed with the with this one, that it really didn't want to start charging until I got to about 3,000 RPM, which is no bueno. That ain't gonna work. But while I was there, I went ahead and picked up an extra regulator just to have on hand, just in case. And I'm going to take this with me as a backup. You know, as long as I'm on the interstate or something like that, or a long stretch, I'm good. And so anyway, we had another alternator. So I grabbed it, but it works great. It's putting out 13.5, 14 volts. When I kick the fan in, it automatically kicks over to where it's still able to charge, which is a good thing. So that's done and out of the way. Readjusted the brakes again yesterday on the front. I'm trying to get them dialed in. And drove it to the shop yesterday. Did an oil change on it. The oil didn't look bad, considering that, you know, new rings and everything else. So that looked good, so did oil change on that. And I also decided to go with a Wix filter. I found O'Reilly happened to have one in stock, and it holds a little bit more than what was on there before. So that one's installed now. If anybody's looking for one for their big block Mopar, it's a 51515 part number. So we got that out all the way. I sit there and retighten things up, looked at the headers, tightened them up a little bit more because, you know, a couple of heat cycles, they tend to back off a little bit. The other thing I was noticing too, and a lot of y'all guys in previous videos have mentioned this when I was doing the brake system on this thing, that the master cylinder was kind of close to the fender well headers. Well, as long as I was sitting there and on regular road driving, it was fine. I was getting plenty of airflow. But I noticed in town traffic and stop and go, my pedal would fade a little bit, which is telling me the fluid was getting hot. So I ended up getting some thermal wrap and wrapped areas I felt like it needed to be wrapped to help keep the heat away. So hopefully this takes care of it. And so I'm just vlogging on. Other than that, the motor's doing great. The transmission is doing fabulous. I love the way it shifts. And no leaks on it. So basically, I'm just going through and fixing nickel and dime stuff. I mean, it's all part of it. So some people were asking me what things I was taking with me as far as spare parts go. Of course, the backup alternator, the regulator, I got an extra set of points. I'm going to be carrying a gallon of coolant, a gallon of oil, just in case the motor's still in the process of breaking in. And by the way, I've seen y'all's comments when we're going to see a toasty burnout. It's not going to be right now. I got to let this motor break in, and I don't want to jinx myself by doing a burnout and then all of a sudden I'm on power tour and there's an issue. So I'm saying probably halfway through the power tour, you might see a couple burnouts with this thing, but I just want these molly rings and stuff to seat in real good. But it's coming, guys. It's coming. I was trying to figure out how we're going to pack things. There's a canopy here that Tony had that we're going to be using. It fits there behind the seat. So basically what we're going to be doing here is this is going to hold our little folding chairs, a little folding table. We got the canopy. I'm going to go out today and go buy a mini cooler, and so all that's going to fit in there. I have a spare tire in the back. I mean, it's not much count. It came off of our Corvette. It's one of the original tires on it, but it'll get us out of a pinch. It barely fits in there with the fuel cell and the battery. So it's getting there. I'm tired. A couple late nights, like with this last night, I didn't get done about 10 o'clock last night. Getting that freeze plug in after about 9,000 attempts, and finally got it in without having to take the mount off. Other than that, guys, I'm going to get back with it, change out this Pinion seal, and I'll check with y'all in a few. Alright guys, I'm back. Just got the Pinion seal in, got the fluids top back off and the diff. Went ahead and put a new U-joint on it. The one that was on the drive shaft seemed to be okay, but at this point in time I want that added security. And but man, whoever put that last seal on there did a number. But anyway, I tried everything in the world to get this seal out. I even tried to use my seal puller that I have, which actually works pretty good. That wouldn't even get it out. So basically I just had to mangle this thing. And but they had yellow tacky type glue, and it was all there. Anyway, it's out. It was definitely bad. I mean, hell, you know, ain't no telling. I mean, it's a 71 D100 rear end, so there's no telling how long that seal had been in there. Plus it sat dormant for a while. Hopefully this takes care of my little demons that are biting me in the butt right now, trying to get ready to go. Other than that, that's about all I'm going to do with it. And other than that, we're getting the shop cleaned up. We're getting tools that we're going to take with us together. And get us a little milk crate set up for like coolant, oil, stuff like that we might need down the road. But other than that, guys, we're going to get back to it. And hopefully tomorrow I'll start shooting footage on our way there. Like I said, since we're leaving from our house, we're going to go ahead and leave a day early. Get close to Memphis, park it for the night, and then I think the gates open at 8 a.m. Monday morning. And there's going to be as many cars as said there's going to be. It's going to be a long line. But other than that, guys, appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and I'll see you down the road.